With Cam and Crotty, your Rockville Braves, an interesting year. Cam hurt in the in the showcase, and then on the shelf for a bit. Only played 19 games, I believe, here in the CCHL, but a whole lot more games. How's that start been?
Yeah, it was probably the biggest bit of adversity I've faced in my career so far. It was a really tough injury. It was a long rehab process, but I came back. It was a little bit of a slow start when I came back, but it's healthy and strong, and my play, allowed me to go off to have some of those experiences with like Team Canada East, and so it was a slow start for me, a tough start, but I battled through the adversity, and I've had some great experiences now, and I'm happy that I'm back and healthy and ready to play some good hockey. So I'm happy.
Yeah, and I mean, special tournaments. I mean, you just mentioned the Canada East, the World Junior A Challenge. We talk about the Eastern Canada Junior A Challenge Cup. How different were those two experiences? I mean, here's the darn old USA again doing it to us. I mean, you lost 4-0 in the championship game in the Junior A Challenge, but you made it to the championship game. Yeah. How would you compare those different types of tournaments, or first and foremost, how was that World Junior A going to the final?
Yeah, it was one of the best hockey experiences I've had to date. I'm sure I'll remember it for my whole hockey career. But it's one of those things where playing there during the tournament, it's you maybe take it for granted a little bit, the experience, but it was a phenomenal experience. The hockey was really good. There wasn't one guy playing at that tournament that didn't deserve to be there and wasn't a really good hockey player. So I mean, the speed was fast. People were really elite players. So I mean, the skill there, is some of the best junior A hockey players in the world. So it was definitely a tough tournament, a fun tournament, and it was just a phenomenal experience. I definitely learned a lot, and I think it's going to help me translate back into the CCHL too. So it's good.
Prospects game, we got another special one coming up here this month, the 25th of January in Cornwall. I believe it's the CCHL up to seven players now. It must feel pretty good to be on the National Hockey League Central Scouting list for the 2017 entry draft.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a feather in my cap, I guess you could say. But the prospects game again, I'm sure it'll be a really fun and unique experience. But the NHL draft, the Central Scouting list, it really it's a cool feeling. It's a feather in my cap, but I'm not paying a whole lot of attention to it. Just kind of playing my game, playing hockey, having fun, and what happens at the end of the day happens. So if I focus on that, it kind of impacts the way I play, and that's not what I want to happen. So it's cool, definitely, a testament, I guess, to my hard work that I've done so far. But I'm not really paying a whole lot of attention to it, and just going to keep playing my game, and I guess things will happen the way they're going to happen anyway. So.
You actually basically answered my next question about how do you stay grounded. Yeah. How do you stay grounded in that type of situation? And you pretty well have answered that, Cam. And I guess the next thing is, how do you prepare in those tournaments, or what do they expect you to do? Obviously, it has to be fairly simplified. Yeah, I mean,
for the most part, they're looking for you to play as the player you do when they recruited you. So. Team Canada or the prospects game, they're looking at the players based on how they play in their leagues, and they're not going to bring you in and tell you to change your game and do all this and that differently. And so they recruit you based on the player that you are, and you just got to focus on playing your game. That's all I did. I tried to play my game, and it worked out pretty well. And I think that's the only really thing you can do when you go to those. You just play like the player you are, and the results will follow.
In the Challenge Cup down in Cornwall, I happened to walk by a room, and in the room you were sitting, and on the other side of the desk, the two coaches. What type of things, what goes on in that type of environment?
Yeah, it's an interview process. So they're just kind of getting to know the players and, assessing the character. I think that's in such a short tournament like that, characters, just as important as elite hockey players. So, they're making sure that every guy that they bring is, they've got the right character, they're the right guys that they want to go to war with. And it gives the players a chance to meet the coaching staff and stuff like that. So it was a good little first introduction for both of the, both parties. But it's one of those things where they're just picking at your character and seeing what kind of person you are, and ultimately making the decision. If you've got the right character, then you're on the team, and so forth.
How special is it, Boston University, a great hockey school? 6 players in that junior final last night from Boston University. 6 players. How special is this? Yeah,
it was a phenomenal opportunity for me to go through the recruiting process with Boston University and ultimately committing there for next year. So it's a huge opportunity for me. It's really a special place. I can't wait to play there next year. It'll be a pretty phenomenal experience. And like you said, there was 6 or 7 guys in that game last night. I think Canada had one, and the U.S. Yeah, they were. So they turn out really good players. They know how to develop. There's I don't think there's a negative to going to Boston University. Their whole situation is phenomenal. So I'm really pumped, and I'm sure it'll be a great opportunity for me.
What did Boston University say they liked about your game?
Yeah, I think for me, they like the two-way game, right? They're not looking for a stay-at-home guy or a solely offensive guy. They like the complete player. I know that's something that teams like pretty much anywhere, but I think the things that they liked in my game was, simple, two-way game, chip on offensively when I can, take care of the D zone. It's a really cliche and simple answer, but there's a lot of truth to it, right? They're not looking for me to go in and put up a point per game or whatever, or just clear pucks off the glass and out every shift. So, they obviously liked my game, a good simple two-way game, and that's what I'm going to look to do when I go there, and hopefully have a pretty successful stint there.
Best wishes moving forward. As always, thanks for doing this.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Cam Crotty of your Brockville Braves.